Well, tax season is officially underway, and this week is Tax Identity Theft Awareness Week. And here to help us keep our personal information safe are Tim Wyman and Nick Defenthaler, both senior financial planners for Center for Financial Planning. So thank you guys so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having us.
And I was just saying that this is one of those things that you really don't understand what it is until it happens to you or till it actually affects you. So Tim, can you tell us what's the overview of what is identity theft?
It's not a big deal until it happens to you. It's certainly.
Right.
But it's everyone's favorite season, right? It's tax filing season. So as Americans are beginning to work on filing their taxes, unfortunately, there's another group, a group of criminals that are working really hard as well, trying to get at our refund. So tax identity theft happens when someone steals a Social Security number, right? They file a false tax return and claim a tax refund. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, most of us wouldn't even know it happened to us until we filed our real tax return and the IRS rejects it as a duplicate tax return. So the risks are very, very real, but fortunately we're going to talk about 3 or 4 strategies that we think can help greatly reduce the possibility of fraud.
So is that usually how people find out? You just get it's denied when you're trying to file your own return?
Yeah, it's an unpleasant letter that you get from the IRS saying we've denied your claim for a refund because you've already filed. And that will be the first alert, and there's a process that one has to go through to ultimately get their refund.
So Nick, what are some of the things that you can help prevent this from happening?
Right, yeah, the best ways to prevent it, a couple items that come to mind. Preparing your tax return early is always a good idea. The sooner that you can get your return done, you're greatly reducing the likelihood that someone's going to file a fraudulent return. Always checking out and doing your due diligence on the tax preparer that you're going to be working with. Using a secure internet connection when you ultimately e-file, if you're using things like TurboTax. And then ultimately, if you are going to end up doing your tax return by hand, kind of do it the old school way, go to the actual post office and mail it out directly from there. That way you know that it isn't going through the mail, you're not dropping it into a random mailbox, it's going straight to the postal department.
Those sites and some of the sites, I mean, are those generally trustworthy to use?
Yeah, I mean, the recognized names, you know, TurboTax of the World, Tax Act, those are reputable, and they are generally safe sites to transmit your information. And, you know, locally we're hearing stories of, unfortunately, seniors in general paying a very low cost to someone who offers, I'll say, low-cost tax advice. And they're providing a lot of their information, unfortunately, and those folks are using it for not so good.
So what's the first step if you notice that maybe somebody has stolen your Social Security number? We only have about 20 seconds left, but what do you do first?
If you think someone stole your Social Security number and filed a claim, we want to contact the IRS.gov. They have a special website for folks who have been a victim of identity tax.
Okay. Well, Tim and Nick, thank you both so much for being here this morning and sharing some of your insight for us. It's tax season. You got to take that extra time and just be cautious.